That's privately profitable, the anthem of the upper tier, puppeteer, untouchable folk.
It sounds like Chris Hanna, but it's almost like the inflection, the way he's phonetically saying the words makes me think more of skate punk. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Lone University. Man, we have a long-ass song title today. Let me see if I can get the emphasis right. And we thought that nation states were a bad idea. I imagine you'd say it about like that. But it's from their second studio album, Less Talk, More Rock. And in fact, this entire album has a lot of pissed off, long song titles. I mean, this entire track listing reads like a whole standalone paragraph, right? But I digress. I've now heard 5 of the 8 Propagandhi albums in full over on Patreon. And I have to shout out our patrons today for voting this track into first place last month. But as you might know, I've been on a very slow backwards journey through the Propagandhi catalog. And it's almost over. I'm now entering the John K. Samson era of the band's original bass player. It'll be weird for me to hear something without Todd the Rod Kowalski on the low end. So I'm still holding my breath because you guys continuously tell me that their earlier albums are much different. So let's check it out. Off we go. Okay, this sounds like Propagandhi in terms of the riff writing, maybe just the subdivisions, but the chord progression, I don't really feel like I've heard much of that from them yet. It's more in the pop punk direction, if I'm just kind of talking about this. Down here in B major, I believe. I got to get a much more gnarly tone, and we'll talk about that in a second, but okay, I kind of assumed and inferred that's what was going to happen because I've heard the first album's just like a really kind of skate punkish album, which is weird for me to think about. I'll be interested to see how much in that direction they lean, but maybe I can hear some shades of it here. But there's a little bit of chromaticism in there, which gives it a slight atonal edge, but really good production for a second album. Kind of scoopish guitar tones. Yeah, that particular sound right there, I don't really feel like I've heard that. Maybe it's the guitar tone, maybe it's just the absence of something more technical or subdivided. I find it all very interesting. Okay, this sounds to me a lot like a P-bass, and when I listen to all the records Todd's played on, I know a bit about what basses he used on some of them. I don't know if it's the same for all of them, but I would keep using the Stingray today, but the P-bass is right there, so why not? There we go. Now I have a bass that's a bit more tone appropriate, I believe. He could be using something different, but it definitely has that neck pickup forward P-bass kind of thing happening, which I'm going to really struggle to get over on the Stingray. Let's just go back to the beginning and jump right into this thing. Wow, it's got that little slide. Okay.
Publicly subsidized, privately profitable, the anthem of the upper tier, puppeteer, untouchable. Focus a moment, nod in approval. Bury our heads in the barcodes of these neo-colonials.
I've got the lyrics pulled up for this one here.
A former nemesis, the romance of the nation state.
Publicly subsidized, privately profitable. The anthem of the upper tier, puppeteer, untouchable. Focus a moment, nod in approval. Bury our heads back in the barcodes of these neo-colonials. Man, yeah, it's got that younger. It sounds like Chris Hanna, but it's almost like the inflection, the way he's phonetically saying the words makes me think more of skate punk. You know, I've heard things on Victory Lap or At Peace that still have that really rapid fire kind of thing, but I don't know. He just sounds a bit tighter and tense, kind of choking up the words a little bit. It's a different kind of delivery vocally. It's weird to hear those major key melodies, you know, with these aggressively tinged, pissed off lyrics underneath it. That's a pairing I haven't heard with this band in particular yet. I talk about it all the time. Lots of other bands do this well. But Propagandhi's music has always very much been the appropriate backdrop tonally for their lyrics challenging politics and human rights and such. So that might be something I should expect as I go back further. I just did a full review of Potemkin City Limits not that long ago, and I heard a bit of that on there. So again, it's been strange to revisit this band's catalog in reverse. Okay, yeah. Okay, that trait is still present. The everyone in unison on the hits, ba 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 ba, with the vocals, with the drums, everybody. That's a very Propagandhi thing. It was one of the first things about this band that really drew me in, all the way back to reviewing Failed Imagineer from Victory Lap. So I guess going in reverse, I'm curious to see what of these traits of theirs have really been there since day one. This is what I'm talking about right here. That too, but this. Everyone in unison. It's powerful. It's urgent. It's commanding. Cool. It's like the intro riff expanded a bit more. Instead of using that G natural as a passing tone, because the intro was kind of like that. Now it's riding on it a bit. Okay, let me get my tone in the ballpark. I know it's a quick song, but I got to get a bit more gnarliness happening here. I'm going to turn on the drive channel. Okay, a little more appropriate, maybe not so much edge. I'll give it some presence. On this amp, presence is like a whole umbrella of the high. It just gives it more shimmer on the top. And maybe pull the treble out. It usually makes it pretty trebly, so I like to pull the treble back a bit anytime I flick on the presence. That's probably good practice on any amp you have. And I don't know, maybe pull some of these low mids out so it's not so woofy. Maybe even some bass too. Maybe not that much bass. Let's try this. Maybe just contour it. That's a bit too scooped for me, so maybe do this. Yeah, it's got that open, it's a little bit more open and nasally. You get some of the more fundamental pitch coming through. Some of that kind of in the gritty top end area. It's not too muted. I'm going to roll with that just to have something in the ballpark. Okay, quick song. We're almost in and out. And I have to say, it's crazy to read these lyrics and be like, this is so relevant for today. I've made this comment in a few of the recent full album episodes on Patreon, namely Bad Religion, Stranger Than Fiction, Propagandhi's Potemkin City Limits. It's weird how much or how prophetic they were. But I raised that question in both of those episodes. Is it that things are always the way they were? They've always been this way, and they were commenting on them just as much back then? Or was it really that they saw where the future was headed with politics? I mean, I feel like I'm reading a song somebody wrote last week. Lyrics like, can you fucking believe what a stupid world? They own us, produce us, consume us. I haven't even gotten there yet, but just to say that these lyrics are like, they really jumped out at me in that way. Just weird. To know this was, what, mid-90s? Or maybe it wasn't weird. Maybe it wasn't. All right. He does a cool inversion thing there. I think it's too quick to really point out, but this bass riff has a bit of independence from the main riff. It's not perfectly in unison. I like that. That part. right there.
Love will be said to return a benefit of unrestricted labor laws. Kept in place by displaced government debts. One, they own us. They own us. Produce us.
Yeah, this is really skate punkish. This is a younger Snapshot. It's very, you know, when I first heard albums like Victory Lap and Supporting Cast, and you guys were like, you got to hear the early stuff. It sounds like skate punk. I'm like, really? Really? But it's slowly, I've heard it slowly creep in. So I'm very curious about that first album. But this is a very natural step backwards, I think. Like a lot of that stuff, it's a little out of tune. I mean, it's punk rock goodness in that early punk rock way. There's some bass chords here. John K. Sampson. I almost said Todd. I think he's back there thickening this part up with some bass chords. When you do that on a P bass, it's massive. It's a lot of presence in the sonic spectrum. You know, doing this on bass in that range would be the case anyway. But if you really want to thicken up a piece, pull out a P bass and do some 151 power chords. I think he's ringing them out like. You notice how it clears up a little bit the more I get away from the bridge versus come over here and do it. Yeah, a little out of tune. We're almost done. Cool. Okay, right here, it sounds like a bit more modern Chris. So, yeah, the bass is really punching. I feel like the volume has crept up a little bit throughout the song. Listen to the way these little rhythmic stops and starts happen. Those stops and starts are just punchy. You can really hear it cut through. I don't know the riff. Triplet, cool. Very interesting to go back. Even another album. I think on the YouTube channel, I'm always one album ahead as far as the single song goes from where we're at on Patreon. Again, I just reviewed Potemkin City Limits. 5th out of the 8th album I've heard. Got 3 left. And again, this is all almost over. I'll be retiring that band from the channel unless I want to learn one of their songs, which I probably will. But as far as the first time listens and blind reactions, it's just crazy. That would be the first band that I've completed. Does that mean I beat the game? If Propagandhi was a game, do I beat the game? If I get all the way back to the first album? It's all coming soon, and I encourage you to come be a part of our Patreon community as we ride this one out. Patreon.com/LoneUniversity. I will say my favorite album by them so far, I believe, it's tough. I think it's between, I don't want to say Victory Lap because it's the first album I heard from the band and it's so special to me. It turned my head in so many ways. So I'm just going to leave that one off. It's its own special category, but it's a tie between Failed States and Potemkin City Limits. And I'm trying to not let recency bias come through. Failed States is just such a punchy listen. I think Potemkin City Limits just felt more accessible. It's like the perfect middle ground of their sound. I love that album, the way it sounded in standard tuning. I think they sound really good in standard tuning. Nonetheless, I can't wait to finally get back to that first album, How to Clean Everything. Let me know what track I should do from it. That's all I have left. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today again. Come find us on Patreon. Great community over there. Tons of Propagandhi fans, me included. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it. Subscribe to the channel. I love you all. We'll see you in the next one.